Hello, welcome to Masha Creatives, the home of creative tech, and today I'm going to show you how to design a church flyer or a church poster or any event that maybe is happening in your church. This is how you're going to design a poster using Adobe Photoshop. So before we dive in, ensure to subscribe to this YouTube channel for more informative content. So right here on my Photoshop is already open. And I have an artboard. The artboard size is 1350 by 1350, as you can see below here. And the resolution I'm using is 300 pixels per inch. So we are going to design a very simple flyer or poster for a church, just to welcome people to come and worship. So basically, the very first thing is working on the background. So I'll just come to my browser and I'm going to open Pinterest. So I'll open a new tab and I'm going to search for Pinterest. I already have one here open. So I'm going to search for gray background because I need a gray lined like background. Yes. So so right here you just do a search, look at them, pick one that maybe you feel is gonna look nice on your design. So for me, I'm going to use this. So I'll just copy it, right click and copy, go back to Photoshop and Ctrl V to paste, hold Alt, click and drag so that it fits on my artboard. If you check that, if you zoom in, you can see there is some pixels on the image that makes it a bit have some low resolution. So what I do, I will just give a blur on this image. So come to filter, blur, and I'm going to give it a Gaussian blur right here. So as you can see, so just play with this radius value here to a value that will work nice with you. For me, I think 6.4 is okay. I'll click check, and yeah, so there we go. So the next thing I'm going to do now is bring in a paper tier below here. So just go to right back to my Pinterest and I'm going to type here paper tier and see what we get. What do we got here? You can also use strips like these ones. So I'll click on this. I think I love this concept. So yeah, this is okay. Since this is just one, I'll copy this, right click, copy, come to Photoshop, Ctrl V to paste, come to properties. If you cannot locate your properties panel, come to window and make sure properties is checked. So right here, I scroll down and click remove background because I don't want this background. Yes, I want something like that. As you can see, some part is gone, but it won't affect what I want to do with this. So I'm just going to rotate it. So to rotate it, just come to one of these bounding box signs, these ones. So just come outside a little bit and you'll get that two-sided arrow. So click and drag it, hold shift so that it snaps at angles of 15 degrees. So I have something like that. Click, hold Alt and drag it higher, then drop it down so I have something that looks like that right there. Then check. The next thing, I think I'm going to give it also a little Gaussian blur. So click on it, filter, blur, and give it a small Gaussian blur, not too much. So I'm going to lower it all the way down to something like 2, a radius of 2, and I'm going to say okay. So voila, there we go. So the next thing is bringing in the logo, that is the church logo. So I'll come to file, place embedded, locate my logo. I have one that I downloaded from the downloads, and here it is. I'll scale it down, position it at the center. Maybe if you're having a problem positioning at the center, maybe you do not have the snap guide. As you can see, all these are guides. So just come here on the 3 dots, ensure it is selected canvas, then click on this center and it will align vertically, or is it vertically or horizontal center? It will just align like that, horizontally center. So the next thing, I'll bring in the church name. So come here to text and type, let's say our church name is Miracle Center. Check, click, increase the font size. So change the font to, I'm going to use Helvetica. So Helvetica. So I'm going just to use Helvetica regular. Light regular. Yes, light regular. I'm going to reduce the font size to something like 9. Then I'm going to increase, should I increase the letter spacing maybe? Yes, something like that. Then I'm going to drag it all the way up. Then I'm going to align it center, and voila, there we go. The next thing now is bringing in our main text, the text that now attracts the attention. So text, and so I'm going to type the word worship. So this poster is not like for a real church. I'm just getting ideas from my head just to show you how to design a church, or a church flyer, or a church poster. So for this, I'm going to reduce the character spacing back to 0. Then I'm going to change the font to 6 caps. So this is the font I'm going to use. Then I'm going to click and drag it all the way up. So I have something that looks like that. Check, align it center. Then I like the color, this purple, but now I would love it to have a gradient. So I'll just come to FX on my layers, ensure that layer is selected, then give it a gradient overlay. So, oh, that's okay already. So maybe if yours came with, maybe, let me change this to, maybe it came with maybe a blue gradient or anything. Maybe it came something like that. So now we want to use our purple colors. So I'll click on this, click on color, then on your swatches, click on that purple, or you can just find it right here, then click OK. And I think I can go with that. That is okay. Okay. And yeah. There we go. So the next text here is worship. Let's say worship with us. So come to text and click anywhere on your artboard. Then I'm going to type with us. Check. Click and drag. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to change the font to signature. Yeah, I think signature will work for me. Signature. If you are a beginner, don't be worried. It's with time you'll be able to catch this, like to master the font names in your head. Then you'll be able to know which font to use here or there. Yeah. So for this one is okay, but I'm going to give it a white stroke. So FX, that layer is selected. Come to FX, stroke, and I'm just going to give it that white. Right here, I change the color to white. So the position is outside. Just use my styles or the ones that will work for you. For me, the stroke size is going to be 4, and I'm going to say okay. The next thing, I'm going to also the same this same layer, that is the with us text. I'm going to give it a small drop shadow, as you can see, but it's too visible. So I'm just going to lower right here the opacity to something like 30. Then I'm also going to remove distance is okay, reduce the size a little bit to something like 20. The spread maybe 20, and yeah, that is okay. As you can see now, it's pretty nice and visible. For the worship text also, I'm going to give it just a drop shadow, nothing much. So drop shadow, return this to 30, the opacity, return the size here to 30. Return the spread, it's still too much, so I still lower this opacity, maybe maintain it at 30, but play with the size. Change the angle to 0. Spread, oh, it's not visible because the opacity is all the way down, so change the opacity here to 30. Come on, double click the layer in case you made the same mistake as I did. So we're working with the drop shadow. So the spread, bring it all the way down. The size, maybe something like 15. For the spread, let's also work with 15. And yeah, I think that's enough. Okay. Yeah, shouldn't be too much. Though I still feel like there is more I can do with it. So let me just redo that again. I feel like the drop shadow is not working because we already have the drop shadow on the with us. So having the same type of drop shadow here is a bit. So I'll play with the distance now. Take it a bit to the. Do away with is it the spread or the size? Increase the size. No, reduce the size. Yes, the size to the size to 0. Then play with the spread. The distance, not even the spread, also can be 0. You play with the distance, as you can see. So I'm going to have it somewhere there and say okay. And wahala, so that's pretty nice for me. That's pretty okay and pretty nice for me. So I'm going to select all the layers. So first one, hold shift, select the other one, and just position them how you want. So the next thing I'm going to do, I want to bring in the text that we are going to use here, that is the date, time, and maybe the location. Okay, so I'm just going to draw a very small rectangle down here. So click and just draw. I'm using my rectangle tool here. So back to my move tool, zoom in. So I'm just going to move it right here. Take it down so that it's not too elongated. Hold Alt, click on this, hold Shift, drag it to the right. So now we have something that looks like that. So we have 3 portions here. One for the date, one for the time, and one for the location. So come back to my type tool, type here. At the center, I'm going to put the time. For the font, I'm going to use Montserrat, but I'm going to use Montserrat regular. Then for the font size right here, maybe take it to 30. That is visible. Then now we can bring it back to something like 18. So I'm going to zoom in. So to zoom in, just hold Alt on your keyboard, then use the wheel on your mouse to zoom in. So I think that is pretty okay. Then hold Alt, click and drag. Then now I'm going to change the weight here from regular to maybe semi-bold. Yes, double click. And let's say it's going to be 8 AM in the morning. Then position this right here at the center. I feel the font is a bit too big, so I'll hold both of them. That is, I'm using Shift, then click all of them. Then I'm going to scale this down, then take it down there. Then check, and yeah, I think that's pretty nice. That's pretty okay. Take this a little bit down. So I'll select both, hold Alt, click and drag. Get a duplicate, position it there, double click on time to edit. Then I'm going to type date, check, double click to edit. So I'm going to say that is going to happen on the 28th Feb. Enter to go to the next line, 2024. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to align this to the center, so the paragraph. So I have my text selected. I'll just scroll down on my properties and the paragraph, align center. Then I can push this back here. So I will have to reduce the distance between these two lines. So that is the line height right here. So I'll just click and drag to the left, or just put a value inside this, maybe let's say 9, and I will holla. So for me, I think I'll play with 10, and that's pretty nice. That's pretty good for me. Then the next thing, I'm going to duplicate this again. So Alt, while holding my Shift, I'm going to click these two, Alt, click and drag, duplicate. Okay, so I'm going to change date to location. So double click and type location. Click it, hold Shift and return it back here, its position. Double click the date and change that to your location. So 4th Avenue. Avenue. It's supposed to be 4th Street. So it's 4th Street Avenue. So I have something that looks like that. So I feel like it's closer to the border. So I'll click I'll select all of these. So hold Shift, click all of this while your Shift is down on your keyboard. That is Shift down on your keyboard. Then I'm just clicking and holding Shift and dragging them up. So I have something that looks like that. You can also use the arrows on your keyboard to take things up and down. I'm going to bring this down a little bit, somewhere there. Nice. I'm going also to drag this down a little bit there at the center. Okay, so as you can see, our poster is coming up pretty well. So guys, don't forget to subscribe. Ensure to subscribe so that this channel can grow. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in flares and some just design stuff. Okay, you can get them or you can download them on pngegg.com, so you can check that. So I'm just going to place embedded. I'm going to import this flare, so you can go to pngegg.com and search for color splash or flares, this one. So I'm going to place, and I will holla, there it is. So I'm just going to bring it here, scale it down while holding my alt, or just scale it down without holding anything. Then I'm going to change it, that is rotate it, so that I position it somewhere here. Okay, as you can see, our text here is a bit, so you can just push this to the right, so that will affect our alignment. So Control Z to undo. I just push this, yes, so that now we have something like that. The other thing I want to do, I want to bring in a photo of people who are worshiping, but now ensure they blend with the background so that they're not too much visible. Okay, so I'll go back to my Chrome and I'm going to search on my Pinterest, people worshiping. So let's see what we get, and there we go. So I need an image of people worshiping. Let's see what we got here. Guys, ensure to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Let's check this. The resolution is not clear. Or let's just search on sort of just a new tab. Then I'm going to search for people worshiping. So let's see what we get here. Come to images, then let's click on which one, maybe this. And yeah, I'm just going to copy that, minimize this and paste it here. So we have our image. I'm just scaling it up while holding my alt. So I want it to go below this shape that we had created below here. So I just click it on the layers, then drag it down and position it right there. As you can see, it's still not below this, so I'll still take it below here. And as you can see, if you take it down, you can see it's below this. So the next thing I'm going to do, I want it to go below there, maybe push it a little bit higher. Then I'm going to, you cannot have it like have this cutting here, so it has to blend. So basically I'm going to add a layer mask. Hold click B on my keyboard, or just select on B for brush tool on your tools. Then there's my brush. Ensure the fill color is black. Then I'm just going to brush like this. I'm using, basically, maybe if you're wondering, I'm using the soft round brush. The size is 500, so I'll just brush it like that. Then the next thing I'm going to do now, I'm going to blend the entire image with my background. So right here where it says normal, click on it, then you have this drop down. So for me, I'm going to use overlay. So just find one that works for you. For me, I'm going to use overlay. It's taking almost the entire image out, but I think still it adds like some little effect on it, which is pretty okay. Okay, so I think the last thing we're going to do on this poster is bring in our flares. So just go to Google and search here flares. So flares is this stuff. So click on this. That is our first lens flare. Right click, copy, minimize, and paste it here. So it has a black background. So what you do, you come to the blending mode and change to screen. So now we have, as you can see. So I'm going to zoom in, duplicate it. So alt click and drag. So I have that. Alt click and drag. I'm just creating several copies and just placing them above our text. So I want to bring another one that cuts across here. So just go back to Chrome, and I want one that, yes, someone like this. Maybe this. Yes. So right click, copy, and paste. So same thing, normal, change this to screen. Position it right here at the center, then I'm going to scale it up. And yeah, as you can see, our poster is coming up pretty well, guys. Is there okay, I'm going to bring in now a rounded flare. Maybe remove one of these here. Control Z. I'm going to lock that layer so that it's not clickable. Remove this and maybe place it here. So what I'm going to do next now, I'm going to bring in a rounded flare. So I'm going to bring in this right here, right click, copy, minimize, paste. Same thing, change this to screen. Then now you can position it here. As you can see, it's bringing some effect on our text, which is pretty nice. I'm going to hold alt click and drag it maybe here, so that there's that effect on our text here again. Then alt click and drag and bring it here, so that there's that effect on our text, which is the location text. So I'm going to lock these layers so that now you cannot select them. So I'm going to hold shift and click this layer, so I have all of them selected, and lock. So now if I click, I cannot select those layers on the artboard. So what I'm going to do again, I feel like I need to enlarge the worship text. So I'm just going to hold shift and alt at the same time, and now, yes, do something like that. Check. Control 0 on my keyboard, and wahala, as you can see, I think this poster is pretty okay, and it's pretty nice. You can use it. Yeah. So guys, ensure to subscribe to this YouTube channel. I've given you the idea. You can play with this type of design, how you love it to look like, any concepts you like to add on it, just okay. So ensure to subscribe to this YouTube channel for more informative content. Till next time, peace out.